What's going on, guys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to part 2 of the Msdossary vs F2 Tekkz. Second leg, Msdossary is 2-0 up. Tekkz normally goes for his toilet break, keeps the opposition waiting, probably has the best tactical kind of setup, you could say, or team talk, team prep during that period. Probably a smart move to do. And this is when I think the game completely changes, because Msdossary is the kind of guy that can lock a game out. But I think, once you give Tekkz a goal, he's unstoppable. And I think big mistake here from Msdossary. Passes back. I don't know what he was trying to do in hindsight. But you see the game completely changes from this moment, because Msdossary was 2-0 up originally. Now it's 2-1. Msdossary knows that he can no longer play the possession game, because before with the 2-goal kind of, I suppose you can say, advantage, you kind of have some room. So he could pass the ball around, played very passively. But because he made that mistake, the game just completely changed from that instant. Yes, you can say it's kickoff or he got a bit lucky, but a goal is a goal at the end of the day. That's why Tekkz is so good. We see this as well versus Stokes in the semi-final. Tekkz wasn't really himself, but as soon as he gets that one goal and he gets that confidence, doesn't matter what kind of goal it is, then he starts playing. You're going to see this is some fantastic performance, about 30 minutes from Tekkz. Just watch Tekkz, how he presses so high up the pitch. He gets the ball back immediately. See how kind of Msdossary is trying to get through, but Tekkz is pressing so high. Look at the players. Look at Mbappe. He's changing players consistently. This is why Team of the Year players are so OP. As you can see, look, he gets the ball straight away. Such a high press. The most perfect tackle. I mean, perfect through ball, should I say. Good skill. Again, you can say a jammy goal or kickoff. But even going back at this point, people ask me, how can I learn from these videos? Just watch about the timing. You see how, the key is, people asking for a passing tutorial. I thought I'll just give you my kind of, my I suppose my insight, should I say, on how I think passing should be done. So in passing, what I do is I like to look at, so this is Msdossary's defender. If for example, Msdossary was controlling this player and he was manually running back with him, I don't think Tekkz would have passed to Mbappe, because Ramos has a shorter angle. But you see, because the CPU is controlling this player and Msdossary is controlling this player, it's a different story. So I'm just going to slow this down, and what you're going to see is this is how you should time your pass. I'll probably make a tutorial on this soon, but just watch. As soon as Tekkz notices that Ramos turns around, then he plays the ball. So he just times it. He just waits. He waits. Probably pressed L1 here. Let Mbappe make the run. As soon as he sees that Ramos turns around here, at this point when Ramos is turned around, it doesn't matter if Ramos got 99 pace or not. Just because of his body's position, he's not going to outpace Mbappe. Mbappe in instance is always going to win. He's onside as well. Honestly, the most perfect pass ever. So what he does, that's kind of the way you want to make passes. Wait for the player to be kind of in line with the defender. Once he's just in line here, you want to make the pass just a bit earlier, because if you make the pass too late, he'll be considered offside. A perfect pass. I can't follow that. I'll probably say that's Msdossary's mistake. Msdossary should have actually manually man-marked that player, but he didn't. And that's what kind of, you could say, caused the goal, is what I would say. But again, now it's 2-2. A complete different game. When it's 2-2, it's a different game. Msdossary kind of bottled a 2-goal lead. Yes, you can say they're both kickoffs, or the goalkeeper should have saved both of the goals, but it doesn't matter. Goal's a goal in the end of the day. So here I think Msdossary's kind of game plan probably went out the window. He probably knew now that he can't play safe. Tekkz again, look how high he's pressing. Almost Msdossary's pushed backwards, as you can see, look, he's pressing so. This is why Team of the Year players are so important, and why they're so OP, because they're the only players that got 99 pace and 99 stamina. Now you always ask me why this is so difficult to do. If you watch this back, if an average player tries to do this, if you press in the wrong location, you can leave gaps behind. So this takes a lot of concentration to do this. Obviously, these guys are trying their hardest. For them, the winning is the most important thing. So as you can see, look, just watch how Tekkz, watch his clip back again. You might want to rewind it. Just watch how he presses really high, really aggressively. You can't really do this if you don't have like a Team of the Year players. You can't really do this. Again, Tekkz gets the ball, and on the attack, see, again, goes down the wing, cuts back inside, perfect. It's all Msdossary right now. All Tekkz, sorry. And Msdossary pauses the game. I think it just takes like a kind of a second, I suppose you can say, a breather. I don't know if he pauses the game or it's Tekkz. But I think Tekkz makes a sub anyway, as I talked about in the first game. Tekkz takes Marcelo off of Virgil van Dijk to stop the back post alternator headers. It's probably the right thing to do, I would say, in that instance. Anyway, back into the game, should I say. 18 minutes, as I said, Van Dijk is now on for F2 Tekkz, so he loses that attacking presence of Marcelo. I think he plays Virgil van Dijk, as you can see, he plays Virgil van Dijk on the left back. And the reason why he does this is because, remember I said in part 1 that you have Ronaldo against Marcelo. Ronaldo obviously 6'1", and you have Marcelo, I think he's like 5'9" or something. So in that instance, Ronaldo is always going to win the header over Marcelo 9 times out of 10. But with Van Dijk kind of in the picture, it reduces the chance of Ronaldo getting the ball and stopping the back post headers. So it's probably a smart move from Tekkz here. But you don't see Msdossary using alternators as much. Msdossary normally plays kind of the ball on the ground. He kind of plays a different kind of game, should I say here. And you're going to see very soon, I suppose you can say Msdossary kind of makes a grave mistake. You're going to see this very soon. I mean, Tekkz makes a bad mistake. It's kind of a different game, as I said, at this level. As I said, it's a complete different game. I think in this case, Msdossary makes a big mistake. I think I honestly could not believe when I was watching this live. I think Msdossary was trying to make the attack and he got caught. And you see what he did here is he committed Ramos, and then I think the biggest mistake, this is my opinion, I think he should never have committed, I think that's Ferdinand there. I think he shouldn't have committed, because once he committed Ferdinand, the average player here would make the ball soon. See, the average player, if you're asking about how to learn from these players, just watch how patient they are with the ball. Most average players here in this instance, they'll either try to play, for example, a ball down there, or they'll try to play like a lob chip through ball to exploit the area so Ronaldo can or R9 can latch onto it. But just watch, Tekkz just waits for Msdossary to commit, does a little drag back, and again, times perfection. We're talking about the passes, timing of passes again. Does the same thing again. Prez does a simple 1-2. So what he does here, he does a 1-2 with Neymar. So automatically Ronaldo immediately starts running forward. We know that straight away. He just waits for the perfect opportunity. He knows that Team of the Year Van Dijk, right, is slower than R9. R9's got 99 pace, I think. I think Team of the Year Van Dijk's got like 80 something, 89 or something like that. He knows he will beat him. And you see also, look at Van Dijk's positioning. At this moment, it's the same thing as I said last time. Waits for the opportunity where just when Ronaldo is about to be in line with the players, he's not offside, powers up, so that way when a pass is being played, he's onside, and a perfect chance to reach the goal. Good fake shot here, and this is when it's a gamble for goalkeepers to defend. You have to choose one way. There's nothing you can really do. You just have to. As a pro player, I think you just kind of have to go with the flow and just choose one side. It's all a deception game with goalkeeper movement this year. To be honest, he should have hit that green ideally, Tekkz, but 3-2 back in the game in under 20 minutes. He almost turned around a 2-goal deficit. So it's a complete different game from that point. You're going to see now here is going to see Msdossary trying to get back into the game. It's all about Tekkz's pressing. He presses. Tekkz, he's the kind of player that will play drop back with 1 or 2 depth, but he will press so highly with his cams. Pre-patch we used to see that Tekkz he used to still play the 4-2-3-1. He used to have the 2 CDMs, and he used to have his cams and his striker. He used to leave all these players, all of them on stay forward. And what he used to do is he used to press with all these players pre-patch, and I used to always try to do a first-time finesse into the back of the net. That's how Tekkz used to play pre-patch. But post-patch he does the same thing. He doesn't really have them on stay forward, I think. He has them on balance. I think he has his centre cam on stay forward. But he presses with them very well. Very good timing. It's almost a different game, and it's so hard to play against this. Unlucky shot with, you know, Msdossary there. And you know how I was saying earlier, in the earlier game, that why I think this is pre-planned. The reason why in this instance Tekkz always passes to the right hand side from a goal kick is because talking about, we're talking about the Marcelo Van Dijk thing earlier on. It's Ronaldo versus Marcelo. Now 99% chance, as long as the ball is played correctly, Ronaldo's going to win the header. So F2 Tekkz always passes the ball to that way because he knows Ronaldo's always going to win the header to play it down. In this instance, he kind of got unlucky with the way the ball landed. But if, for example, you play a 4-2-3-1 and you have Ronaldo, or let's say, for example, you play a 4-2-3-1 and you have Bale. So let's say you're playing a 4-2-3-1. So imagine this is your formation you're playing, and you have a goal kick. You always want to pass the ball to either your left attacking mid or your right attacking mid. So imagine this is your formation, right? That's your goalkeeper. That's a 4-2-3-1, okay? Now, what you want to do is you always want to pass to either the left attacking mid or the right attacking mid. So if, for example, you might not have Team of the Year Ronaldo, that's fine. But let's say you play with someone like Bale in your team. Now, Bale's a very tall player. Now, if you know your opposition has someone like Marcelo in left back, always try to pass the ball to that hand side, because obviously Ronaldo's going to win the ball more times than not on that side. So that's kind of the thing that you can incorporate into your gameplay. So wherever your tallest player is, wherever Ronaldo is, look at who he is, and this is just a fantastic goal. There's nothing, it's kind of a mistake. It's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, when the ball gets played to Ronaldo, I don't know what Ronaldo was doing there. And Msdossary just picks up the ball. I think this is his first shot on goal, I think, or was his second shot on goal. Green time shot in the corner. There's no saving that at all. No chance at all for Tekkz to save that. Even if he moved the goalkeeper, I don't think the goalkeeper would have reached that. Regardless. I was trying to say, this is why I was saying it's a very interesting game. You know, at this kind of level, it just becomes a game of mistakes rather than of who's the better player. I think sometimes you're going to see like Tekkz flashes of genius, but a lot of the time it's a game of mistakes. That's kind of my view when it comes to the pro scene anyway. It's about who makes the mistakes, and once you make the mistakes, it's can you pounce on that mistake. And as I say, with attacking as well, another thing I was going to say, people always ask as well, what can I learn from pro players? Just watch how Tekkz doesn't commit forward. Normally players, as soon as they get the ball here, they just commit forward. You see how Vieira goes back? You see, this is why it's a very, most people, even I'm the same. When I get the ball over here, for example, and I get the ball here, I immediately look to try to pass to this kind of, to any option, or look for an outlet. But if you don't have an outlet, never be afraid to go back. See these pro players, they're never afraid to go back. They always pass, play very slow, wait for the opportunity, wait for a player to commit. See, when they wait for a player to commit, wait for the perfect space. That's what you can incorporate into your game. So try that as well. Try to slow your game down a lot. Unlucky, that was actually a very good L1 chip kind of thing you can say there. Chip pass. But that's what I'm trying to say. Try to be patient. If you do play yourself, I would say watch this game yourself and just watch what they do. I want to speed up, not now, but in a couple of minutes, I want to speed it up. And I'll be talking about, you know, how they play so slowly. And the key is you want to look at this kind of in 2 times speed. You know, that's how you kind of note it. Now you see here, I'll give an example. Here's a perfect instance. Most players in this instance, when they see Ronaldo running and they see Ronaldo through, most players will kind of commit forward with Ronaldo, and maybe they'll try to go down the wing. Maybe try to go down the wing and do an alternator cross or back post cross. But you see what these pro players do, they always try to get, once again, an advanced position, they always come back and they wait for support. See, the key is, if you're playing this game right now, let's say you finish this video, get into your next FIFA match. When you get into attacking position, try not to run. Try to see how Ronaldo's not running with the ball. You see when Ronaldo's running now, but see when he gets the ball now, see, he's not running. Most players that make the mistake is they run into space. He's not running. He's using a normal, just pressing left analog stick down, dribbling, and what he's doing is he's waiting for players to come support him. That's what you should be doing. You shouldn't commit or force too much if you can't. As you can see, he goes back. See, he goes all the way back to his right back, goes all the way back down again. See, this is kind of how you want to play. Wait for the space, wait for position, and then once you see the perfect pass like here, there's nothing you can do. This is very good play. This is why I advocate players with 5-star foot, 5-star weak foot. You know, everyone asks my team, why am I so obsessed with getting everyone with a 5-star weak foot? if you don't have team of the year players, you know how inconsistent finishing is. And the key with players like Eusebio, what do you do in this instance? Because, you know, players like Eusebio in this instance, because he's got a 5-star weak foot, he can go kind of, I suppose you can go far post, like with a finesse, or you can even turn and shoot with his left foot near post, or even shoot with his right foot near post. There's so many outlets, and that's why I think it's so hard to defend against these players who got 5-star weak foot. That's why a lot of these players, they try to have players with all, you know, R9s, the Eusebios, you know, the Neymars, all the players all have 5-star weak foots. At the bare minimum, you kind of want a 4-star weak foot is what I would say. Good goal nonetheless. And then Msdossary's back into the game, just like that.
Hammers it home at the near post. And then 99 finishing, 99 shooting. Eusebio is not going to make a mistake from 8 yards.
And don't forget as well, offside trap as usual from Msdossary, just to bring the defensive line up to win the ball back quickly. You're going to see something very unfortunate here. Again, Msdossary makes that mistake. Good play by Mbappe. This is why Tekkz is amazing. Good skills. See how he waits? Such amazing gameplay this was. Yes, you can argue his kickoff, whatever, but that was actually a very good play. Kickoff, whatever you want to say, but either way, that ball was going to go in regardless. Here you're going to see again. And remember I was talking about the final attack. Now watch the time on the top left. You're going to see here. Now Msdossary is trying to take advantage of the final attack. Of the kickoff. Watch, see, Tekkz here. He knows as well there's 3 minutes added on. Remember I was talking about the final attack last time? He knows that there's 3 minutes added on. So what he does is he goes back. He doesn't really push forward Ramos. He holds the ball. He waits until the 47th minute. Just watch. He goes back with Vieira, switches the ball. He's got passing options ahead, but you see he's waiting. He's waiting for the 47th minute. Once he gets to the 47th minute, now he's going back a bit. He knows he's still got 30 more seconds. He knows as long as he gets the ball into past the halfway line, just if he gets the ball, as long as this timer doesn't go to 48, and he gets the ball in this half of the pitch, the referee will allow what I like to call the final attack. As you can see now, 47 seconds, 50 seconds here. Once he's got the ball, this is the final attack period. Now, if Msdossary wins the ball now, and he tries to go forward, it doesn't mean anything, because the referee will blow the whistle. Now, what I like to do is I like to press L1, and when I press L1, it's all these players, they push forward. So I like to spam L1 just to get as much support as I can, because I know if I spam L1, it doesn't matter if I lose the ball, because the referee's going to blow the whistle. It's kind of a risk you got to take. 99% of the time, the referee won't blow the whistle. But here, for example, probably Tekkz knew this is the final attack. He can push players forward. Msdossary at this moment, he just has to defend for his life. As long as you don't go far a bit too back, as long as you stay in the final third, the referee doesn't blow the whistle. And even now, when Msdossary does get the ball back, the whistle gets blown. That's what's considered the final attack, or what I like to call the final attack anyway. We're just going to see the second half now. I'm going to fast forward the bit that I was talking about earlier when I was talking about how to fast forward the gameplay so you get a better understanding of the game. Again, kickoff. They just try to exploit. This was actually very smart, what you're going to see right now. You know, after Tekkz moves his goalkeeper quite a lot, and watch what Msdossary does is he immediately plays, literally within a space of 1 second, he plays the corner straight away. So what happens is it doesn't give Tekkz enough time, because what Tekkz is probably trying to do is, Tekkz is probably trying to move the goalkeeper out in front of Ronaldo, and he's trying to select the tallest player, or someone like Gullit or someone like Ramos. Because Msdossary does it straight away, it kind of almost catches Tekkz off guard. As you can see, look, you can see that Tekkz kind of got caught napping. As you can see, changes to Neymar by mistake. See, changes to Neymar by mistake. You can see that he's caught napping. But even at that point, you know, it could have been the same thing. I'm just gonna fast forward it now. For a couple of, I just want you to understand and just watch the movement of the players. Don't concentrate on the runs, just concentrate on where the ball is going, okay? So watch it as a spectator and concentrate on where the ball is going. You see how these pro players, they switch play, they hold possession. Most players, they push forward. You see how Tekkz, look how he builds up that attack. He doesn't push forward immediately. He goes all the way back to his fullbacks, waits for his players to be in better positions, and then pushes forward. The same with Msdossary. You know, see, he went all the way back. See, look here in this instance, right? Msdossary here, he could have, if he wanted to, he could have passed to his right winger. You can see on a radar here, he's got the right winger, that's free, and he's even got players like Neymar who's running in, and he can just do a simple through ball, and Neymar will get there before Hullet. But see, he doesn't do that. What he does is he passes back to his centre back and lets Vieira go in a more advanced position. You see, this is I think the biggest skill gap between the pro players and the casual players. I think a lot of the casual players, they rush too much. That's what I'm trying to say. It's very important. You see, they never. Of course, this is a kind of a pro event, so they don't want to make mistakes. They're waiting for the perfect opportunity. But if you take this approach and try to play when you're kind of in your own game, in your weekend leagues, it's going to make a massive change, because a lot of players, they commit too forward. The key is you kind of want to wait for the final pass to be perfect. You don't want to take a risk. You don't want to lose the ball, especially against a good player. You know that a good player can always latch on to a bad ball. So it's all about restricting your mistakes. A good chance for an alternator there. As you can see, Hullet thankfully attacks. As you can see, same thing again. See, they don't push forward unless there's a clear and obvious counter attack. They don't push forward. What Msdossary does, I think he does so well, is he waits for, because Tekkz presses so high, he waits for Tekkz to press really high, and then for Tekkz to make a mistake and then latches onto it. And Tekkz, to be honest, he's just formidable. You know, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake or not. Tekkz is the kind of guy that just by using skills, you can basically get past your entire defense. Gets a bit unlucky there. And we can see that the game is paused at this instant, and what happens now at this point is it's coming around the 70 minutes. This is when I like to put subs on as well. Around the 70-minute mark is probably the best time to put subs on. You know, you can see that he put Pele on just before as a quick sub, and he puts R9 on pace injection, obviously good for the counter attacks. The Sorry places center cam on stay forward, similar to how I do. You know, it's just, you know, the good thing with Pele, and although Pele hasn't got a 5-star weak foot, R9 does, and it kind of gives a pace injection, and R9's the kind of player where he's going to finish the ball. 5-star. A very good corner kick tactic, should I say, from Tekkz. Very unlikely. This is what you see very rarely. Most people in this instance, they either try to pass it short or they try to do a pass in kind of near post. But what Tekkz probably practiced this a lot. Don't think Tekkz messed up. I guarantee you he practiced this and he perfected this. So he probably did this in weekend league, tried it out and tried to pass the tallest guy. Probably figured out maybe it didn't happen the way he wanted it. Maybe ideally he wanted obviously Ronaldo to latch onto that ball. So he wanted Ronaldo to head it back to Hullet. But either way, he practices. He knows where his players are positioned. He knows, for example, I guarantee you, Tekkz knows, right? You see at this instance, what Tekkz does is when Ronaldo, you see Ronaldo here, when R9 takes that corner, he knows exactly where Ronaldo's near post. He knows Hullet's in the middle, and he knows Vieira, and he knows Mbappe is just outside the box. So he's practiced this. Do not think this is fluke. I'm telling you now, he practiced this. Alright, good goalkeeper movement again from the Sorry. As you can see, the header comes in. Watch the side. Watch the goalkeeper. See the goalkeeper. See how the side puts the goalkeeper down. Good goalkeeper movement, and this is probably one of the best things. Corners, counter attacks. You're gonna see one of probably the best. I suppose you can say counter attack. As you can see, Virgil van Dijk out of position. As you can see here, F2 Tekkz. I think he plays Virgil van Dijk in. I think he plays him in left back, if I'm not mistaken, as Marcelo came on for. As you can see, that's the left back. Kullet's kind of covering right now for Virgil van Dijk. But you see, Virgil van Dijk pushes, gets quite a possession, and from there, it's basically almost. You could argue a 4-on-3. You could argue, as you can see here, Ronaldo. You got him down the wing. You got Pele in the middle, and you got Mbappe on the wing, and you got. So it's basically your superior numbers here. See, that's what I'm trying to say. They only push forward when there's a clear chance, because he's got superiority here in numbers here, especially from the corner. He pushes forward, and you see now from Tekkz, he's got no choice here. He can't really bring any of his midfielders to cover. They're too far away, so he has to separate kind of his centre back duo, should I say, to get Ronaldo. And obviously, when he obviously pushes out his centre back, he's obviously going to create a gap, and that's where Pele is left exposed. And this is just amazing. You know, this is why Msdossary is one of the best players. Pure composure. Most players in this instance, probably I would do the exact same thing here. When I pass the ball to Eusebio here, or Pele, sorry, I probably would have shot that near post. But he's got the absolute composure just to make the Tekkz. Obviously, guess he's going to pass, shoot it near post, move this goalkeeper. But the composure to do that, that's incredible, especially in real time in a counter attack, especially against Tekkz, one of the best players, this year anyway. It's insane, and from that point it becomes a different game. It's 72 minutes. Dasari's ahead, as you can see. Some tactical changes. You see Msdossary now puts his CDM and his cam on stay back. And then he change, and what he does, I think he tries to play on his formation. Tekkz changes to a 4-2-2. It's quite interesting that Tekkz uses one depth. I think that's also a defensive tactic. But Msdossary changes to a 4-5-1. But I think Msdossary, he doesn't change to a 4-5-1 immediately because he doesn't want Tekkz to check the formation and player ratings. So that's why he sticks with the 4-2-3-1, and then he'll change to the 4-5-1 in game. As you can see, Tekkz is changed to the 4-2-2. Remember how I told you remember how I was saying if you watch my videos a lot, I was saying that the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-2-2 are very similar. The only difference between a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-2-2 is the extra cam now becomes a striker. So it's a 2-striker formation. So the cam just basically pushes forward to an extra striker. So he puts them all on stay forward. He puts his centre mids on balanced as well, and he puts Modric on as well to bring the attacking presence. His kind of wants a 4v4 on the back four, and he wants his 2 midfielders to run in deep. Run from deep into the box, because now he has to get a goal. He kind of has no option, should I say, in the game. But I think he makes a big mistake here. I think he was under pressure. I think there's obviously a lot of things going on about these two players, always saying who's the best. And I think Tekkz makes a big mistake here. And this is my opinion. I think Tekkz made a big mistake here. 74 minutes, he pauses the game. You see, because basically Msdossary is the kind of player that can close the game out in 10 minutes. And why I'm saying it is he made the mistake is he shouldn't have paused this. He shouldn't have queued a pause, because when you queue a pause, what that means is A, you made a change that's incorrect, or B, you made a mistake, or you haven't changed to the correct formation or whatever. So now Msdossary knows that he wants to make a change again. So if I was Msdossary, I would try to hold the ball as long as possible so the ball doesn't go out of play, so after Tekkz can't rectify his error or fix what he needs to fix. What Tekkz should be doing is he should be queuing this pause when the ball is out of play. But obviously in this heat of the moment, you're kind of in a rush. Everyone probably make the same mistake. You're probably gonna think, I need to get a goal back. I made a mistake and pause the game straight away. But in hindsight, what he should have done is he should have waited for the ball to get out of play and then pause it, because the pause will still queue anyway. But what he's done is by queuing this pause here, if I was Msdossary, personally, I would hold the ball. I would be like, okay, Tekkz has paused the game for a reason. That means he hasn't done something, he hasn't made the subs, or he hasn't done something correct. So he's made a mistake. So I would try to keep the ball in the pitch and on the pitch for as long as possible. Got to get a bit lucky here. As you can see now, it's just about closing the game out. As you can see now, Msdossary holds the ball, waiting for the 6-second limit, and then drops the ball past the seat. As you know, he kind of knows now where that Tekkz has kind of made a mistake. And to be honest, at this moment of time, whether this was the mistake from Tekkz because he didn't have the right settings or whatever, he saw an opportunity. He saw Mbappe clean through, and at this point he can go to the corner flag or even wait for support. But what he does is he does amazing play here, cuts back, waits for support. As I said, for Hullet, you can see that he knows that Tekkz went all out attack. If you look on a radar, you can see a lot of Tekkz's players are behind the ball. Good composure, gets a green time shot, and to be honest, it's game over at this point. I think Msdossary knows that now. To score a goal, 2 goals, it's very hard. But there's only very few players that can do it. And I'll be honest, Tekkz is probably one of those players. As you can see, he changes to the 4-5-1. We saw that off camera, and we can see that Tekkz changes to the 3-4-2-1. I've actually started using this formation quite a lot. It's actually a really good attacking formation because it kind of overloads your opponents. As you can see, everyone's on get forward. Everyone's on. This is like kind of the all-out attack formation. The good thing about this formation is once you get the attack, it's almost impossible to defend against. So this is probably what I would have done in this situation as well. Probably the best thing to do: fast build-up play, constant pressure, push as many men forward as you can. And I suppose Msdossary's doing the smart thing: 4-5-1, get a majority of people in midfield, get 3 people in the middle, all on stay back, lock the game out. And hopefully, fingers crossed, try to close the game out, should I say.
And this arena has been quite special to Tekkz, especially in the last few weeks with the EPL finals. We saw Calvin Lewis.
So again, now Msdossary, as you can see now with R9 defending, see how with R9 defending for his life here, Tekkz gets it one chance, and see if he scores this chance, as I said, he only needs one more for that to draw and equalize the game. Msdossary knows that now he's going to play this slow, he's probably waiting for Mbappe to make the run there, makes him a grave mistake, and Tekkz, unluckily, green time shot, tries to go for near post, and just pretty unlucky left foot. Maybe if Pele had a 5-star weak foot, maybe he didn't have composure on the ball, maybe he would have won. Maybe he would have scored that goal. Again, same thing here. Tekkz just getting agitated in this instance, and Msdossary, just playing slow. He's just kind of playing a possession game. Gets forward again. He doesn't even at this point. He doesn't even need to go forward, to be honest. But as I said to you, the 3-4 was it 3-4-2-1 here? Amazing goalkeeper movement. Unlucky, he hit that red. I thought it was going to do like an L, not an L, like a rainbow or something. As you can see here, the perfect thing to do. This is probably the most professional thing you can do. You see this in real football a lot. A tactical foul. You see here now, probably that Marcelo is out of position. Essentially R9 can do a simple 1-2. It's basically almost a kind of a match in terms of defensive and attacking. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see off radar as well, but Tekkz also has a left attacking player as well. So Tekkz basically has over a majority in this instance. Msdossary does the perfect thing, tactical foul. Take the yellow card, take the red card, it means nothing in this instance. Because if you stop this attack, because if this kind of goal goes in from kickoff, you never know what happens, if that makes sense. Does the right thing, makes tactical foul. And you should do this as well in Weekend League. If you're, for example, ahead and you see your opponent's got an attack, just make a foul. Do what you got to do to win. I'll be lying if I said, don't do it. But the truth is, everyone does it. Everyone parks the bus, do whatever you got to do. And here again, the smart thing as well here, the person that can win the headers the most here is CR7. Msdossary controls CR7, as you can see with CR7 positioning. He definitely moves him towards the middle of the box, stop the ball. Tekkz probably practiced this. Pretty unlucky that it didn't fall to him. And there he came out. Now Msdossary just going to hold the ball, and to be honest, at this point it's practically game over. There's nothing Tekkz can really do in this instant, and I think it was a pretty good game and match. It was unlucky for Tekkz. He probably made one of the best comebacks I've probably seen from him in this game, but it was unfortunate. He had a couple of chances as well, but Msdossary with that goal in the 70th minute kind of kill the game. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried my best to kind of go through things that maybe you can learn from, or maybe you can pick up or start doing. I've gone through a lot of it in part 1, so part 2 just mainly some little things that maybe you can start doing, or maybe if you find it interesting or not. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.